Welcome to the collision of faith, politics, and culture. I'm Jared, and you're listening to Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Sanity. Today, we're going to hit a topic of healthcare. Is it a human right? Housing, is it a human right? And what makes something a human right or not? I think that is something that has been in the public discourse for the past little while. If the Harris administration, the Harris-Biden administration gets in, I think it's going to be something that comes up a lot more over the next 4 years. So we're going to dive in, see what is a human right, what is not, and what is the danger of calling something a human right when it is not. So first, I want to go to a few quotes by the left. This is from May. The DNC put out, with rising unemployment numbers, many are estimated to lose their health coverage. Healthcare is a human right, and we must work to ensure all Americans. Jimmy Carter, this was a few years ago, put out, a lot of people don't look at housing as a human right, but it is. So what makes something a human right? I think if you pull up let's go to the Declaration of Independence, which let's go back further. This is the Declaration of Independence. The Old Testament, look at the Ten Commandments, which is a lot of our legal laws are built upon, right? The Ten Commandments says, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not murder. So you have the right to not be murdered, and you have the right to not be stolen from. So property, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or John Locke put it, life, liberty, and the pursuit of property, are something that our founders saw as unalienable human rights given to us by our Creator, right? Let's read it. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. So government is created to secure your human rights. They do not give you your human rights. You have your human rights before government. So the danger, and this is where I really think the distinction needs to be made between healthcare and housing and your right to live and pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of sanity in my case, but life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. When you say you have a human right to healthcare, what are you saying? I have a right to, if I do have a right of healthcare as my human right, that means I have a right to walk up to a doctor's office or a doctor and say, serve me. Whether I can pay or not, I have a right to your service. When you demand someone's service or someone's labor or someone's property without recompense and demand it either at the point of a gun, or in this case, you want to legislate it where you would legislate laws that if they didn't give you your health care, then you would send the, police after them with guns, by the way. So in essence, you are enforcing your will upon them that you want their labor or you want their service without charge. So when you say your service is my right, that is by definition slavery, right? Slavery is demanding someone's service and not paying them for it. So what the left in most cases are asking for, same thing with housing, right? If I demand a builder build me a house, if I say housing is a human right, if I don't have it, I have to be given it by you. I am demanding someone build me a house, whether I can pay for it or not. From the libertarian non-aggression principle means, I do not have the right to inflict violence upon you unless you are except in defense of my own right. So if you look at even the biblical Levitical law, if someone broke and entered into a house and you took their human right of life away, if you killed them as they broke into your house, you are free from penalty, because it is the aggressor that has the liability, I guess, to have their rights taken away. The same with when we take someone's right to liberty away, we put them in prison. We have to have a set of very concrete laws and due process before we take someone's rights. It's not that your rights can't be taken. It's that if we're going to institute government, it is created to protect those rights and at worst case scenario, take those rights away. The same with, that's why government is instituted. That's why we call the Bill of Rights the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights is not giving you rights. It's protecting your rights from government. It says the government doesn't have a right to take your due process away. The government doesn't have your right to take your free speech away. The government does not have a right to take your your right to defense away. So I think these words mean something. I think, AOC +3, the squad, have brought out these words, and they think if they say them enough that we will just accept them. And to be clear, I'm not arguing that healthcare is not something that I think everyone should have access to. And from the libertarian point of view, the Hippocratic Oath is not something forced on doctors by government, right? I mean, how long has the Hippocratic Oath been around? Let's see. Hippocratic Oath. Let's see. Hippocratic Oath came around, what? Wikipedia, where are you? It's one of the oldest binding documents in history, right? Let's see what this guy has. Oh, geez. Let's see. Written in antiquity, its principles are held sacred by doctors to this day. Anyway, so antiquity. Whoever knows what that means on a date, but it's been around for a really long time. And guess what? It wasn't forced on doctors by government. You look at Vanderbilt Health, was private. The Vanderbilts are private. You look at Methodist Health. All our hospitals here in Idaho are Catholic, right? St. Al's, St. Luke's. So these were charities, or these were private individuals deciding to provide healthcare whether or not someone could pay for it. And I think that is a very admirable quality. And I think everybody in a best case scenario has access to fantastic healthcare and has access to housing. The difference becomes when you demand something that you haven't worked for or earned at the point of a gun or the point of a government. That is where you are in the wrong and where you're making up words. And so I think there's pushback on that word. I think there should be. I think we as libertarians, or we as even believers, should really seek to define the words that we're using. So if we say something's a human right, make it a human right. You have a right to life, right to liberty, pursuit of happiness, which is also why I'm pro-life. I don't think you have the right to end a fetus or human child in the womb just because you don't think it's something you want, which is a whole nother video we'll get into. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe. What do you think? Do you think I missed anything on that? What about, do you have a right to something that I didn't mention? But yeah, thanks guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.